What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Zack, and this is Movement Monday. So today I'm just going to be quickly going over the format and outline of one of the most simple but effective ways to structure a workout routine. And what's cool is you can really use this for losing weight, building muscle, maintaining, anything like that. And really, the overarching idea is quality over quantity. And one of the big things that you'll come to find that if you continue to follow me or if you watch any of my stuff is really this idea of simplicity and focusing on fundamentals, because the the problem nowadays that I've noticed is that there's too much information out there. Not that it's bad, it's just too much. So for most everyday people, it's really overwhelming to know what should I do, what shouldn't I do, what's the right thing for me. And so I really focus on delivering people the tools that they need and the ideas and principles that will help them to be successful long term and to really create a successful, sustainable, winning lifestyle. And so that's kind of what I really outlined in a couple different curriculum pieces, or I guess kind of video kind of series that I go through. One is called the Unstoppable Blueprint, which is all about the middle pillar that you'll come to find if you continue to watch some of my stuff, and that's going to be movement, energy, and accountability. And so today, what we're going to be going through is the movement portion, which is how to structure workout routines or movements, a movement pattern down like kind of a weekly cadence to get you to whatever your goals are, right? And so we'll go ahead and dive into that. All right. So the first thing is really the overarching idea when it comes to losing weight or building muscle. The most important thing is how much energy are we expending on a daily and weekly basis? Are we taking in more than we consume? Or are we taking in more than we burn, in terms of like, are we eating more calories than what we burn on a daily, weekly basis? Or are we eating less? And so that is, two different ways to look at it, two different things to consider, which would be obviously how much energy are we actually eating or taking in? So food or fueling, or the other side that we're focusing on today is burning calories through movement. And so the thing I want to talk about today is movement. And the reason I say movement is because when we say exercise, it's really kind of a limited view on what really is encompassed in this whole idea of like burning calories through movement. Exercise really just kind of triggers this response in the mind, at least to me, anyways, like, oh, gym or workout, that kind of stuff, right? But really, we can burn a lot of energy through a lot of different things, right? So we have workouts. Whoops. This is not the best pen. We have workouts, right? We have like in the gym, we have cardio. You have also what's called NEAT, so non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is really more like walking, those kinds of things, like energy that we burn that is not through like a structured exercise workout routine, right? So I guess these are kind of in one, but you have like your structured workout and you have your non-structured workout. And those are some of the different ways that you can burn calories. And really what I want to go through, I guess, for majority of this video is how to structure this. Okay. So these will be at a later one, but let's go ahead and go over like a really effective way just to structure your workouts. So this is a really simple method and it's very effective. So all you need to commit is 3 60-minute sessions per week. That's all you need to do. If you can commit 3 hours a week to working out, you can pretty much achieve any goal for the most part, unless you're really trying to get shredded or jacked or whatever. And if you add more, you can always speed along the process. But really, for a lot of you who struggle even getting to the gym, you could be pleasantly surprised and happy getting good results doing this amount. So the first part of your workout session, what I like to focus on is compound movements. So these are going to be things like bench press or squats, deadlifts, something. A compound is a movement that involves multiple muscle groups. And so, again, so if you do a bench, right, you're getting shoulders, arms, chest, getting some core. And so that would be a compound movement. So I like to spend the first portion of my workout, so maybe 15 to 20 minutes doing compounds. Okay. And you can superset your compound with something like, I usually do if I'm doing like a chest again, or like a bench press, maybe I'll superset it with some abs. If I'm doing a leg movement, maybe I'll superset it with some other body weight, I don't know, arm movement or something like that. So if you're going to superset it, you really want to maximize what you're getting out of your compound. So try to do it with an exercise that is not going to be engaging the same muscle groups. All right. So compound movements for the first 15 to 20 minutes. And then the next, let's say you did 20. So the next 20 minutes to 25 is going to be the rest of your workout for your lifting, which is going to be your supersets. So supersets, kind of like I just mentioned here, is going to be doing one exercise right after the next. So let's say you do 3 different supersets here. So superset 1 would be, again, let's say we're doing chest. So this first compound, I did 5 or 4 sets of 10 for my bench press, and I supersetted that with leg raises. So I did a set of bench press, and then I did a set of leg raises. I did 4 sets of that. That's my compound block. My second block is going to be my superset. So let's say I did incline chest press with lateral dumbbell raises. So I do my incline dumbbell chest press. Immediately afterwards, I would do my lateral raises. Okay. So you can usually fit in 2 to 3 supersets here. And so do that. And then your last block would be your cardio block. So I usually do, this would be about 40 minutes. And then this last 20 minutes to make up your 60 minutes is going to be 20 min is going to be cardio. And this is usually what I call MIC, which is steady state cardio. So again, forgive me for my writing, but let's make sure you can see this here. So you spend 40 minutes of lifting. You do 15 to 20 minutes of your compound for your first block. Second block is going to be your supersets. So you do 2 to 3 different supersets, which each of those supersets would have 2 to 3 exercises. And then your last block is going to be 20 minutes of a steady state cardio. So for me, I like to do an incline treadmill. So I put it at like a minimum of 10% incline, and I go from 2 to 3 miles an hour. And you just maintain that pace the entire time, but it should be enough to get you to sweat and to burn some extra calories. So you want to make sure that you get enough of an intensity to do that. All right. So that's going to be your next 20 minutes. So in total, it's 60 minutes. All right. And it has about 3 different blocks built into it. So just make sure that you really keep it simple. And again, this is enough to get 60 minutes total. And so you don't have to be spending hours in the gym, but this is highly effective to get, again, any kind of goal that you want. And so I'll just write this out, but this would be block 1, 1 compound block 2 supersets, and then block 3 is going to be your MIC or cardio. All right. So again, and to be clear, especially if you're like somebody new, this compound block could just be one exercise. So it doesn't have to be a superset exercise. You could just do your bench or squat, whatever. Um, if you don't feel comfortable doing barbells, you can do compounds that aren't barbell movements. Okay. So that would be for a different video. Today is mainly an outline of what you can do and how to structure it. Because again, this doesn't need to be super complicated. And so literally there's so many different types of workouts and exercise routines and things that you can do. But for a lot of you who struggle with just getting into the gym or trying to do too much or too little, not sure if you're doing enough or doing too much, that you're just confused. This, you can pretty much do any style of workout. So you can do calisthenics, you can do strength training, you can do more endurance training, you could do whatever kind of you want. Just fill in the format with the kind of style, which again, we can go in that in a later video, but this is really like a very flexible but effective outline and structure for a workout routine. Highly effective. And so hopefully that kind of helps. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. The next session, what we would go through is maybe going a little bit more in depth, excuse me, with some different ways to structure this with specific types of exercises or maybe exercise selection, which is kind of important. And so if you do this on a weekly basis, last thing I'll say is you can actually fill in the rest of your week with other things. So let's say your main goal is weight loss. Well, actually, let me start with this. In general, baseline, because think of this as like your base level workout routine, 3 60-minute sessions a week, and your non-exercise thermogenesis, which again, most people say try to get your steps in. So that's a great way. So if you can get 8 to 12,000 steps a day, on top of this, you can really get to most any goal that you want for most average people, right? If you want to look good, you want to feel good, even if you want to get like a six pack, or if you just want to work on getting big booty gains, either one, you can do that with this. And this is going to help to burn those extra calories too. This is a general outline for what you can do. Now, if you want to get more results more quickly, you can always add some extra cardio, add some extra steps. But in general, you can really get, again, you don't need to add too much. I know I keep saying that, but I think things just get overcomplicated these days. And so, again, one of my main goals is really make it as simple as possible for people. So, hopefully that helps. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about that. And again, in the next one, we could talk about some more details as far as exercise selection, or maybe go a little bit more in depth with one of these sections. Okay. All right. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.